And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. If it's Wednesday, it must be a wow day for you because we choose to make this a wow day. Wednesday is not just about hump day. I can't wait for the weekend. No, we have the opportunity right here, right now, to turn whatever's happened so far around and choose to make this a wow day. And you are going to be wowed by our guest as we talk with her today, the queen of automation, the diva of automation, on how to to clear the chaos and turn contacts into cash. You know, you go to all these networking events and you meet people and then you have all this contact information and you go, wow, how do I stay on top of it all? She's going to show us how to do that today. So I'm grateful that she's here. A couple of quick announcements in case you didn't know it. I am Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. It's our privilege to be here with you and support women entrepreneurs who are impact focused, to support them in growing their businesses to make a greater impact and also make a greater income. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Like, we can be of service and we can receive in large part. So I do have a very special announcement to make, and I'll mention this again. And this is a message and an opportunity for those of you who may have been watching Wow Wednesday, been part of our community, and have thought, wow, I wonder what it would be like to get the support and coaching from Nancy and her team. So this Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I am opening what I'm calling a coaching corner. And this is an opportunity for you to come in and get laser coaching. So think of it this way. There's some question rattling around in your head or on various bits of paper, and you're like, well, if I only knew, fill in the blank, things would be so much easier. Things would be so much better. If I only knew, fill in the blank, or if I only could, fill in the blank. Laser coaching is the opportunity to get coaching from me, where I will just download and give you what you need so that you can get on that path to getting there. So this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, if you would like to take advantage of this complimentary coaching corner, just put your name in the chat that says, Nancy, I want in. I want in on Friday. I'm going to do a couple of other dates of these soon, but this Friday, 10 a.m., just say, Nancy, count me in. Put that in the chat. If you're with us on Zoom, if you're on your phone, you can just email Nancy at womensprosperitynetwork.com. And if you happen to be with us on Facebook, just put it in the comments below. Nancy, count me in. Yes, please. And then I'll give you an opportunity, because we are committed to you moving forward, further, faster. It's our FFF system, just made it up. No, move forward, further, and faster. So just say, Nancy, I want in Friday morning, 10 a.m. And we'll make sure that you get the link and the information you need to join us for this special coaching corner that we're hosting on Friday. And now, without any further delay, I get to bring on Diva Terrilynn Phillips. So you may be wondering why Diva, but that's going to be evident as soon as we get this show started. So today we're going to be talking about how to clear the chaos and turn contacts into cash. So let me tell you a little bit about Terrilynn. She collaborates with business owners who want to grow beyond being a solo entrepreneur. Now, a highly sought after assistant for more than 4 decades, her unique experiences guide entrepreneurs to create successful strategies and systems that take them from an idea to a dream come true. She is a Triple Crown communicator, certified speaker, keynote speaker, and is committed to showing entrepreneurs how to succeed through chaos by creating habits and outstanding success. Welcome to Terrilynn.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for that intro. Wow, can I live up to that, Nancy? I'm not really sure.
You always live up to that, my friend. You always do.
Yes.
thanks for making time to be here. I know that you carved this out of a kind of a mini vacation you're on. So everybody, this is special. She's giving us some of her vacation time to drop nuggets of wisdom. So grateful that you're here today. So first of all, I want to start off by let's talk about this problem that most of us experience. We know that we want to go to networking events and we want to meet people and we want to be on social media. And then we have all of these potential people to talk to, and it can quite frankly feel overwhelming. And what I see a lot of people do is they forget to nurture those connections, and they're busy just collecting cards and contacts. And so how do we stop that chaos?
Yeah, Nancy, we we love to go and socialize. When it comes to networking, we get a little nervous about that. But once we get in the mix and the mingle, it becomes all evident that we're all just people, and we just all are in for a reason, or to get to know people. Getting to know people and getting people to know you is a secret sauce to success, right?
Absolutely.
We know this.
Yeah.
So when you get all those people, we think of these cards as cards and numbers, and we think of revenue and, we got to hit this goal. But when you think about the cards as people who are counting on you to give them advice and wisdom to go forward, people that are looking for you, they've met you, they've gotten to know you a little bit, and they're waiting for you. And when you contact them, they're like, oh yeah, I was waiting for your call. If you can, it's a mindset. If you could just think about them as people instead of about a chore or something to do, they're people, they're friends, they're family, they're associates, they're peers, people that are waiting for you. So when you get all of those cards and you're looking at them on your desk like, oh my goodness, you are looking at relationships that you can benefit and that can benefit you. So gather them. You gather them, you put them somewhere safe, which is either CRM, a spreadsheet. We use Rolodex, we use 5x7 cards. They all work. But make sure you contain all that contact information, because it's not only revenue, which it is, but it's also people. And you want to be their one, right, Nancy?
Right. You want to be I agree. You're preaching to the choir here. So I agree 100%. So we can all agree in theory, and where most people struggle and run into chaos is, how do I manage all of that? So let's just use an example. We did our mastermind for Women's Prosperity Network 2 Saturdays ago, and I think there was like 70 people. So what happens in the chat? Hi, I'm this one. Hi, I'm that one. Hi, I'm this one. Hi, I do this. And it's like, okay. Or the physical equivalent of that is, here's my card, here's my card, here's my, and you walk out with all these cards and you're like, I don't know what to do with them. And that's where systems and the automation and the processes that you bring to the table really make the difference. And there, so many people are missing this piece. So how can we get started? What do we do? So I've got these stack of cards, or this printout from the chat. If I goes on a Zoom, it's the same thing. What's the first thing for me to do?
The first thing for you to do is to commit, to take the time to enter your data. Because once you enter your data, if your system is set up, that's all you have to do. So you enter your data. You have to make a commitment to yourself, just like you make a commitment to exercise, eat right, and hopefully those things go right for you. Because we do that first of the year commitment and kind of drop out of the box, but then we revisit it over and over again, and do the same thing with that. Revisit your commitment to enter the data. You could a spreadsheet, you could just upload it. Like Susan does the greatest spreadsheets with the chat. I just upload them into my system. Your cards, you can either manually, and now most of the software has scanner where you can scan them in right from your phone.
So
I have clients that actually take a picture of the cards. They will put them on their car seat and take pictures of them and send them to me so I can enter them into their software.
Very good.
Those are my spoiled ones that I absolutely love.
Well, or if you have a scanner, like you said, a lot of the systems come with a card scanner, so you could do that yourself. Not quite as easy from a Zoom chat, but that's okay. There's still a system. And when you said commit to yourself, enter them in your system, maybe adding this layer on, let's also commit to those people, because especially if we meet someone and we make a connection, even if it's on a Zoom and in a chat, or whether it's in person, there was something there, and by not entering it in your system, you're prevented from following up, and it becomes chaotic for you. And what does that person feel like? Right? So we could translate it into, you really want to be the one, you got to set up systems that make it easy to manage your business and your life. Love that.
And systems, I know the systems can be daunting for people. I know that the learning of the system can be daunting, but you have to invest. If not money, time, you have to invest. You can set up a system with a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And that spreadsheet can have the name, the email address, the phone number,
where you
the
met
address. It could be, it could be their LinkedIn, all of their social media. But then you need a note section. Always have a note section in whatever CRM, spreadsheet, Rolodex, because you want to notate the speciality of each individual, because that's what makes them who they are.
Right.
You want to create commonalities between one another, because there are always commonalities. You just have to have a conversation and make that first phone call. I know you heard this before. You get that information in, make that first that first contact a conversation. Yes, the first contact, just a conversation to get to know one another. We think it's sales, 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 sales. And we think, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Think about getting to know that person who is waiting for you to give them what you illusion promised to give them. So have that first conversation, find out who they are, what their favorite color is, what their birthday is, what they like to do, where they like to go.
Whatever you can.
Start building that relationship, because this is where you start building a relationship. The networking is the first date. You remember your first date? Got all prepped up and primed up, and you made sure you minded your manners, and you ordered salad on the menu.
That's right.
The networking is your first date. Even on Zoom, we get all prepped up, make sure we're our best, and we make sure our words are politically correct.
Yes. I've got a good question to follow up with that. So if networking is our first date, when is the appropriate time to call, to say you'd like to meet again? Like, we could use the whole dating analogy on this, because some people say, in the dating world, oh, don't call right away. Or maybe you do say thank you, or maybe you wait 3 days. But like, what's a good guideline so people know that you care about them without being a pest? Because that's the biggest thing people worry about. Oh, I don't want to bother people. Like, so what kind of guidelines for, now we got them in our system, what's a good timeline for reconnecting?
I do send it was glad to meet you. I certainly look forward to having a chat with you to get to know you better right away. Sometimes I'm in my car and I just go on my CRM and just, send that thank you. So glad to see you. I had a good time at this event, and I have a lot of other events I go to. If you're interested in me inviting you, right away.
Wait. Golden nugget. Notice that was really good, Terrilynn. I couldn't let it slip by. So right after, it was great to meet you at this event. I go to lots of events like this or similar ones. Let me know if you want me to invite you. Not, oh, it was great to meet you. Do you want to buy my thing?
Right.
Right. That would be like, it was great to meet you. Let's go to the hotel. If we're in the dating scenario. We really need to slow down the process and allow the relationship to build. I love that. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, we need to slow down a lot of things. I think that, our urgency to get back where we were is causing us the angst, and not understanding that you never get back where you are. You are building a new. It's a new time with whole new features. I mean, the overwhelm of just what is available to build your business. I always end up back to my tried and true. The new and shiny, it's all pretty, but I've been with WPN for years. Mm-hmm. And I've gone to other networking events. I've gone to other organizations. I've joined other organizations. But WPN is what works. So I end up back with my tried and true. Nancy, I'll disappear for a while, and then all of a sudden I'm in. And that's what you have to understand. Yeah. That you're building anew, and slow down and get to know those individuals. We have some wonderful people in the world, and in your hand with notes and spreadsheets and cards, in your hand is your community, is your tribe. Mm-hmm. So get to know them, because like when we come on Wild Wednesday, Nancy says us by name. Like, oh, hey, you haven't been around for a while. How you doing? No, you get to know people by name, and that's how you build your tribe. But first, you have to commit to put that information in an organized system, and I could talk to you about that later. In an organized system, in order to start doing follow-up. I say your first contact, which can be an email or a text, it was great to meet you. And then a couple of days later, you can send them an invite to something. You can send them your chat link. Hey, I really want to get to chat with you. I know it's been, a couple of days. I hope you've digested what went on at the event, and maybe name a couple of things that went on at the event. Mm-hmm. Just in case they've gone to 12 networking meetings since then. And
right, jog their memory.
Yeah, you can sparkle. So then you have at least 2 contacts, not mentioning your first date. So that's 3 contacts.
And there's a little nuance in that I really like, because just like you said, they may have been to 12 events, and maybe they didn't write things down and put you in their system. And now they're like, oh, they get an email or a text from you. It was so great to connect with you. We haven't talked in a while. And they're like, who the heck is this? And now they don't feel good. When you remind someone of where you met or some tidbit that will spark them, it helps them feel better about the interaction. And that's what we want. We always want people to be feeling good, not like, oh my God, she remembers me and I don't remember her. What's wrong? Like, you don't want to send people down that trap. So that's a great nuance in the tip. All right. So right away, you're going to contact them, just a quick follow-up. 2 or 3 days later, do the same thing. And then what? So let's say here's something that happens. Especially as you move further away from having met someone, you might text them, call them, email them, send them messages through social media, and they don't respond. That happens.
Mm-hmm. But that's the magic of social media. Get on their page, make some comments, build that relationship through their social media. Even if they don't show up right away, eventually they're going to check your social media. And when they check it, there you are. You're in there talking about this, you're in there talking about that, you're bringing subjects to their social media. And we have so many pieces of software where you can plump in something and it'll distribute it to all of your social media. We got Canva, we got HubSpot, we've got Hello Woofy. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And since the CRMs are now sending your newsletter to social media with links and things, it's golden. Stay in your social media. You will hear me say, I hate social media, but it's a fine line. I love social media. I hate social media. There's a fine line. And you have to decide which side of the line you're going to be on. Either you want to be in a community. I mean, we were so separated during COVID that when we came back, we're like, oh my God, I want to see my folks. I want to see my friends, but I don't want to get COVID. Mm-hmm. So everybody turned online, and it took everybody a minute to understand what I've been understanding for years as a virtual assistant, that virtual is still personable.
Absolutely.
It's still getting to know one another, especially with video.
Yeah, especially with video. Like I have clients that we've brought in over the past 2 years that I've never met in person, but I don't feel like that. Like I know them. I feel like we've physically hugged. Right. We haven't seen each other in 2 years, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we've been watching over the past year together, seeing each other every couple of weeks, and that relationship is solid. And here's the thing, when you meet somebody networking, yes, it's great to be in person. I'm not discounting the joy and the yumminess of that, but don't not connect because you can't do it in person. There are so many ways for us to do it. So I love your suggestion when you reach out to someone, when you're doing your follow-up after that second, third, fourth, fifth time, because we do want to talk about the duration of follow-up. We'll get there in a moment. When they don't return your call, all you got to do, go on their social media platform and make a comment on one of their posts. Engage with them on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever they are, because they, just like you, see who's following you and commenting on your post, so are they. If you want to be noticed, you got to show up in their playground. Especially if it's a person of influence or impact that you're trying to meet and get to, show up where they are.
And invite them out. Don't forget to invite them out.
Yeah.
And even though we're talking about being on social media, we're talking about sending them an email or a text, baby, that phone still works. Mm-hmm. You can pick up the phone, and even if you leave a voicemail, they're impressed. Even if they don't check their voicemail and they see the number, because now with caller ID, your name is showing up. Mm-hmm. They're impressed.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm going to say this really lightly.
Wait, we can't hear you.
I'm going to say this really quietly. You can always send out a handwritten note.
Yes, yes, yes. Doesn't take much effort, and people so appreciate it. Fabulous. All right. So we're coming up to the top of our interview process. We're going to do question and answer with Diva Terrilynn in just a few minutes. So if you've had some questions come in to your mind, go ahead and, jot them down. We'll be able to bring you on so you can ask your question live. Before we do that, the duration of follow-up. I hear that, the sale doesn't normally happen, somewhere between 5 and 20 contacts at this point. So how do you consistently follow up without being a pest or being pushy? Like, what do you recommend?
Email. Even though people say, I get so many emails, I don't read those things. You have to stand out in your email. Personalize your email and bring to them something that they're interested in. If you have software, then you can segment in the software. And that way you are bringing them information that they appreciate. Also, don't forget referrals. Everybody's always looking for everybody else. So don't forget to refer to individuals. Everybody has a specialization, but people have generals. You might go to someone in order to find someone else. Because people come to me and then I go to my sphere in order to find who they're looking for.
So I love this because this is another way to build relationship and this whole referrals piece. So some of you might be wanting to follow up with someone because you think they might be a good potential client or customer of yours. But here's a new way to listen that I'm picking up from what you're saying. When you're listening to people and let's say you're at a networking event and everybody's doing their 60-second intro, right? And you're listening. Think of it this way. Who do I know that can use that product or service?
Yes,
because now when you schedule your follow-up call, it could be, I'd love to get together. You mentioned at the event that you do this, this, and this, and I want to learn more about it because I know some people who need what you offer.
Right.
That's an amazing follow-up call.
Yep, and that will get your call answered.
That's right. That is huge.
Will get your call answered.
I did that just the other day. I was at one of our events and this woman, Kristen, started sharing about what she's up to. And I've known her for a while, but there was something in what she said that I was like, oh, Leslie could use that. Debbie could use that. I need to meet with her. Hey, can we set up a meeting? Right then and there.
Right.
And out of that conversation, as I learned more, I sent 2 referrals her way. I don't know what's going to happen, but don't you think we have a closer, more valued, high-level trust relationship just because of that?
Yes, definitely.
So
you
new way
now,
of listening. Yeah.
You have now become one of her resource referrals. So when she needs something, I remember Nancy talked about X, Y, and Z. Let me get in touch with her. She knows someone that does X, Y, and Z. But then, Nancy is a founder of WPN. We're going to go to Nancy. Nancy has a whole directory of referrals that we can reach into.
Yeah, you want me to know you. That is true. It's highly beneficial when I go.
Nowadays it's not who you know, but who knows you.
Right. Right. So true.
Who knows you. I just want that to sink in for a minute. So in order for people to know you, you have to be present. You have to be a part of things. You have to attend. Mm-hmm. You have to participate. And what a better way of participating than participating in the events of all those individuals that you got contact information. Now, if you get 100 contacts, you'll probably end up with 10 or 15 really good ones. Mm-hmm. But you have 100 contacts who might know someone who needs you. So don't discount them if they're not someone that is your target market.
That you can immediately sell to, right? Because you never know. Yeah. We're going to open up in just a moment. I want to ask this question. Do you have a suggestion? So let's say you go to an event, and you come away with the chat and there's, 50 people there and they all seem interesting. Do you have a suggestion on how to prioritize connections and contacts or something like that? Because it can feel overwhelming, like how I don't have time to do all of that is what people I hear saying.
If you're going to try and do it yourself, you should know your target market. And that way you can choose out of the 50 who can be a priority. And then the others are going to be referral sources, or they're going to be people you can refer to. But they're once they step in the door, they're part of your community. And there's no reason not to contact them. Not, with having all of the software that's available. Now, I'm not saying use all those pieces of software.
Right, you gotta be there too, yeah.
You have to figure out what works best for you, not all the new and shiny features that could work best for you, but the actual features that you use. It's sort of like going out and buying a computer. Everybody doesn't need all of the bells and whistles. So don't pay for all the bells and whistles if all you need is just a simple CRM with a newsletter.
Right. And there's MailChimp, which is free up to a certain point. Aweber, Keep is another good one. You mentioned HubSpot. There's lots of different systems. And the key is, start small and then build, depending upon where you're at and where your business growth is at. That's how you decide which system is right for you. All right, we are at the halfway mark, my friend. So I want to open our Q&A. It goes fast when we're talking.
Yes.
So we're going to open up for questions. So if you have a question or a comment that you'd like to share, you can raise your hand or unmute yourself if you're with us on the Zoom. If you are here with us on social media, just put your question in the comments and I'll make sure I bring it to the table. While I get those pieces set up for the Q&A, this is a big topic that today's conversation is hopefully moving people forward to see this in a new way. And it's got to continue. Like what you said, you got to commit to this process. And you have a system that you've created to support people in implementing consistently this exact thing of turning contacts into cash. Can you let our audience know what it is and how they can get it?
The system that I developed over many years, like the first 15 years of my career, it's going on 41 years now. I got blessed to fall into what I actually love to do. It's called Cards to Cash. And I created the name for that because it is a journey from the cards to cash paying clients that helped me build a business of over $500,000. So I want to bring that to my wonderful WPN community, because I know y'all like juicy, great things that are tried and true.
Yes, yes, yes. Why struggle?
Right.
And
right.
Let's be clear here. I would venture to guess that more than half of the people listening in, if not even more than that, struggle with this thing. I got all these connections. How do I follow up? What do I do? So why keep struggling when Terrilynn has created a system that supports you in turning those contacts into cash?
That's right.
Yes, yes, yes. Good.
Yeah, it's a 12 module interactive audio and book guide that I even added a prep list. I was like, okay, let's make it really easy to do this course. There's a prep list so you get everything together and then you start the course and you're ready to go. And it's 12 easy steps. I think the videos are, a few minutes, up to 5 minutes in order for you to implement, because you take it step by step and implement it. But it is a huge deal. It is a huge deal. And I built it as a conversation machine. It has marketing management. Yes. So you have your step by step, what to talk about, when to talk about it, how to talk about it, why to talk about it. You have your marketing machine in there, where to market, how to market, why to market. You need to know your why for everything. That's your motivator. You need to know your why. And a calendar system, how to use your calendar efficiently. Because we have these calendars. I have one on my wall. I have one on my phone. I have a book calendar. And you want to not get overwhelmed with your calendar. So you learn how to make it work for you in this system called Cards to Cash.
Did you tell us how much it is?
Oh, Nancy.
I don't think I heard that.
You didn't hear how much it was?
I'm thinking, all right, 97, 147. That's what I'm thinking, somewhere around there.
Yeah. If you get it from my bookstore individually, it's over $150. but because I love my community,
Mm.
I like to do the WPN Dillarama.
She's taking care of her family. That's what
Yes.
we do. Awesome.
You can get it today for $27.
Mm. So good. And imagine one contact turns into a potential client.
Oh my gosh.
Earn more than $27.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One tip. Even if what you learned today, that you're going to listen at networking events for what people can, how other people you know that can use their services, like that's a gold mine. So go ahead and grab the special. I put the link in the chat. Let me go ahead and I know we got several people on the phone. The website is Diva Terrilynn speaks.com/CTC for cards to cash. Now, Terrilynn, so it's, jot this down, I'm going to go slow. Diva, D-I-V-A, Terrilynn, which is TERRILYNN speaks.com/CTC. So I got it. Okay.
You got it, Nancy. You got it. And if you're on Zoom, you see it on my background. Diva Terrilynn Speaks. It's .com/CTC.
CTC. All right. So get the system and remember this, they're people. I love that you started with that
Yes.
These are people. You want to build relationships. People do business with people. That's what we're here for. All right, let's open up for questions. If you're on your phone, simply hit *6 and then I'll call your name or your number in a moment. If you're on your computer, you can just unmute. So let's start with Peg Duchesne.
Terrilynn, thank you so much for this beautiful gift you're gifting to your Women's Prosperity Network sisters. This is just beautiful. I can't wait to dive in for the modules. And you're speaking my language, girlfriend. You know, I'm a big send out cards proponent, but lots of times before I send out the send out card, which with the postal system these days takes about a week, I do a handwritten note. They get that in 3 or 4 days. And then 2 or 3 days after that, they get my send out card. By then they are on my calendar and I reach out, and then they know me and remember me because I've dropped on them a couple times before we have that conversation. And like you said, it's just a conversation. Don't be selling them anything. Just get to know them. And I can't wait to dive in and see how you're presenting the material to us and showing me some nuggets I don't yet already know. And so thank you so much for this fabulous Wow Wednesday presentation. Thank you, Nancy. You're just such a phenomenal interviewer and pulling out all the great stuff. And I just have to say, Rita Thomas is in the chat giving us all the information, recreating the sound bites for us. So thank you, Rita, for that.
She's amazing.
Amazing. Rita is amazing. Thank you, Peg.
Thank you, Terrilynn. Looking forward to taking advantage of your program.
I have to say that I love send out cards. I've used send out cards for years, and I love send out cards. So get with Peg and get send out cards. They are phenomenal.
Beautiful. Yes, 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 I agree. And I love that you added in a quick handwritten note as well. So that's awesome. Again, go to divaterrylynnSpeaks.com/CTC. I'll put the link in the chat again. Several people have already got your program, so yay.
Yay.
I also, and I have some questions from Facebook that I'm going to bring in.
Oh, great.
I see that some people are asking about getting the chat and the way the settings are on this. I don't have it that you can download the chat, but what I'll do is the replay will be in the Facebook group and I will add the chat dialogue there. So
nice.
Where the replay is, and I'll add the chat dialogue for you. So I got you covered. All right, let's go to Lisa Perez has a question from Facebook. And she says, I've struggled with the most efficient way to get the business cards to my VA for data entry into the CRM after an event. What are some of your suggestions?
I tell you, my clients, they will mail them to me. They will scan them, make a copy and email it to me. They will, like I said, I have clients who on their way from the networking event, they will take pictures of it on the car seat. They will line them up on the car seat and take a picture and send it to me. So there are several ways that you can do that. If you scan them, have a scanner from your software, I know Keep has it, MailChimp has it, Aweber has it, where you can scan the card directly into the your software. And you can just have your VA check and make sure that everything is set up correctly. But
All right, good answer. Love it. All right, so Lisa, hopefully that helps. Let's go to Laurel. Welcome, Laurel, your first Wow Wednesday. It's a good one, huh?
Yay.
My first Wow Wednesday, absolutely. My schedule is so crazy, but I wanted to be here. And I really love the things you emphasized and had to say, Terrilynn. They were just, they're the things that we all know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't always practice. And
Yes.
so getting the discipline in place is fabulous. And I got your program, so I'm there.
Thank you, Laurel. Thank you.
And,
Looking
you know,
forward to that.
Yeah, I mirror some of the other things, or echo some of the other things that other people have said. It is a matter of discipline. And I'll tell you what, I have so many people that say, hey, use this, tool, use that tool, all tools everywhere. And I've decided that I'm coming to WPN to get the definitive, what are the right tools. So I so much appreciate that. It's just, it's a crazy world in so many different ways.
It is. And Laurel, I love what you're sharing. And it goes back to what Terrilynn said. If we just slow down a little bit, right? And pay attention to what are the most important things, and the most important things aren't things, they're people. Connect with those people, right? So it's beautiful. And welcome to Women's Prosperity Network. Are you a member yet?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, good. And talking about the systems, there are so many systems, but here's the thing. Do not let setting up a system be a very creative act of procrastination.
I love
that.
I love it.
Quote you on that?
Yes, please do. Yes. So, and I see people, I have to get a website up first. I have to do this first. Just be with people first and do the systems on the side. Like I love that. Just an Excel spreadsheet, a notepad. Come on. Like if we go back to the beginning of the time before we even had all these systems, people were still doing business.
Right. with sticky notes.
With sticky notes, with telephone. Yeah, so good.
I'm the queen of sticky notes.
Yes.
I have to go through them and go, I forgot to do that and that and that. I need a keeper. I've often said I need a keeper. I need a keeper for my life stuff because I've got too many things going on. I need a keeper for my business because I've got too many things going on. And I just go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and don't allow myself time in between to do the things that you've talked about, Terrilynn, and so many other things.
I know. Until
follow-up that are important, and absorption.
Yes.
You got to absorb what you just experienced. What's the meaning of it? What do I want to do with it? And my life is so fast-paced. It just is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And you slowed down to make it here today. So that was.
I love it. That was a great decision, Laurel.
Even though I'm in a 5-day training session that is all day.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's 11 to about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night every day.
And the people you meet there, you're going to connect with in a new way because of what you gleaned from this morning's call.
Well, yes, it's not a networking thing. It's bank and level 3 training. And it is fantastic.
Here's the cool thing. And I love that you brought this up. It's not a networking event.
Right.
Everything is an opportunity to connect with people.
Right.
Okay, got it. Because I have my own way I have my own focus on the marketplace versus everyone else. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even though they, may not be a client that you're going to sell bank to, maybe they'll be the person that tells you where this great restaurant is when you go into a new town for the first time. And then you go to that restaurant, and because you go to that restaurant, you talk about bank and you get that client. Like, you never know.
Right.
Well, and I go to that city. Hey, let's get together for coffee.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. Enjoy your training, and I'm so glad you were with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for coming.
Awesome, awesome. All right, let's go to Mary Jane, and then I have a question from Aurelia in the chat that I'll bring up.
Great.
Mary Jane.
I'm coming. Here I am. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mary Jane.
Good morning. I apologize for being late on the call. I was wandering in the, anyway, I found you. So I will have to listen to the replay. But it's delightful to know somebody still writes notes. I'm old school. I love pretty stationery, and even it just is great. So thank you for being here and keeping it alive, so to speak.
Thank you, Mary Jane, for coming. I want to tell you something about that note writing. So I went to another country, and somebody gave me a picture, and I wrote them a thank you note for sending me the picture. And then I got a thank you card for sending the note.
Sweet. Right?
That was super impressive.
It takes a moment and it means a million. I have some thank yous on a bulletin board when I don't feel good about Mary Jane. I go over and read them, and they're delightful. Somebody took a moment. Yeah.
I have these sitting right on my desk, and I know if you're on your phone, you can. I have thank you notes from people, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Love that.
It
Awesome.
makes you feel good.
All right,
So
Mary,
thank you.
glad you are here today.
Yes. I can't miss Wednesday. I'm so scheduled with WPN. That's like at the top of the. I'm like, where's my meeting? I have a meeting.
Where's my juju? Where's my high vibes? Yes.
It's a place to be.
I have a date. I must make my date. Wasn't that the Mad Hatter?
Yes. I think so, from Alice in Wonderland. All right. Thank you, Mary Jane.
Thanks.
All right. And if you have a question or a comment, you can hit *6 on your phone or unmute yourself if you're on the computer. And the question from Aurelia, actually, we answered already when she asked about having a specific system to set this up. And there's lots of great software tools that you can get. Excel is a great tool to use, as well as a pen and paper. And here's something I do. I create the Excel spreadsheet. I actually do it in Google Drive using Google Sheets so that it's easy for my assistant to access the information. So get comfortable with Google Sheets, Google Drive. I love it. It makes it really easy to have those follow-up systems and connections with your team. So like there's a lot of great software programs, but if it's going to get in the way of getting it done, don't go for it.
Pen and paper.
Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and open up. I think that might be the beautiful Pastor Dorothy May Ross.
Oh.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
So good.
Great. I just wanted to say I'm just so happy that Terrilynn started sharing about the different ways that you can utilize software to just hold on to important information. But I also like the part about the Google. I'm just really starting. I use Google Drive, but I'm really starting to use the sheets and everything else in Google, because what I find is a lot of times when I'm out and I don't have pen and paper or something, I can go straight into my Google Doc and start typing stuff in, or into my notes or stuff like that. So a lot of times we just forget that there's so much right at our fingertips that we don't utilize because it's not natural. It's not something we do every day. So, Terrilynn, thank you for sharing all of this good information this morning. It's got me sparked back up to start doing some stuff. Thank you.
You are certainly so very welcome, Pastor. I look forward to your event coming up.
I was just about to say, she got you, Terrilynn might have got you sparked today, but you sparked all of us last week. I am looking forward to the vision board party on March 26th.
Yep.
And go into the Facebook and share the link again, if you would, because I started clipping pictures. Did you start clipping pictures? Yeah.
Yep.
Dorothy May.
I did too. I'm gonna have to find Terrylynn's picture and your picture and clip it so I can get it on my board. Okay, so I can be my own personal assistant, but I can make sure that I get it right.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Awesome
All right,
sauce.
All right. Thanks for being with us and just being awesome. I love you, my friend.
Love you more.
All right, let me go ahead and I'll put the link in for the system from Terrilynn, and I'll mention the link again. It's divaterrylynnspeaks.com/CTC. So Diva, D-I-V-A, Terrilynn, TERRILYNN speaks.com/CTC. Grab it. And then Manuela, I believe you are asking for the link to Dorothy May's workshop. She's on her phone, so she can't enter it right now. I know how to, I'll put that in the chat because I know what that link is because I'm interesting. I
can't wait.
To do that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to create a virtual vision board. So I've started downloading pictures that I want and make it a background on my computer.
Oh, all right. Well,
my vision right in front of me.
Let's go ahead. We got a couple minutes left. Evie, your line is open if you would like to join us.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for this Wednesday and for the information that I usually keep the cards in a purse, but I don't have the system. And then you mentioned that we have to, have a couple of contacts before and send at least 2 and then send a card. And then when you are in the network event, let's say that you really want to meet a specific person, what is the best way to approach them and to ask for the card, and then you handed your own card? And the other one is when you are meeting other people that is not exactly your priority, but you don't know who you can meet through them. So then how do I present my card? Because sometimes I got the feelings that they are not interested, so I don't give the card. So can you tell me about that? Thank you.
Certainly. That's an easy one. People exchange phone numbers all the time. You meet them at the bus stop. You find a commonality. Oh, yeah, girl, I know that. Oh, yeah. You're like, I met a gentleman who was from Miami who told me to give him a call when I come to Miami, and I held on to his number until I was on my way to Miami. I didn't know when that was going to be. So just talk to the person, get to know a little bit about them, and just exchange.
Yeah.
Nobody gets riled up from you offering your information and asking for their information.
Right.
That fear is actually false evidence appearing real. Everybody loves people who loves people. And we see them like, I have grown up with a social butterfly all my life. If you know me, you've heard me speak about my mother. She never meets a stranger. So get rid of that fear. It's a mindset where you're limiting your own self. talk to them. You will find something that's interesting about them. Let them know that you would like to chat with them later and ask for their information and give them yours. Because most of the time we want to chat with them later.
Well, and I totally second what you said. And think about this. When you're meeting people, your goal is not to give out your card. Your goal is to collect.
Definitely.
Collect people's contact information. And even when you're on Zoom, yes, you want to put your contact information in the chat, but what's more important is that you get their contact information so that you can follow up. Plus, like you said, Evie, they may not be a potential client of yours, but you never know who they know, like you said, and meet them with asking questions to find out about them and how they can add value to my life, how I could add value to theirs, and what they do so that I can introduce them to people. Like there's a new way of listening and meeting people available for you here. And hopefully that helps.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right. We've got time for one more caller, and that is Manuela. So go ahead, Manuela. Nice to have you. And I did put the link to Dorothy May's vision party in the chat.
Terrific. Yes, I did see that. First of all, Terrilynn, you are such a joy. I love your voice. It is so soothing. It's wonderful.
Oh,
I wanted to give, I had written this in the chat earlier, that one of the first things I learned when I got all these cards and was networking is just a simple thing. In the car, I would write on the back the date and the event that I met them at. And I even keep a really fine point permanent marker because some of those business cards are slick and you can't write on them. And I wanted to give you a little hint from having grown up all over the world as a Navy wife and Navy daughter. In Japan, I saw something that was the most interesting, and that was when you hand a Japanese business person your card, they hold it, they look at it, they treasure it almost like a gift. And that's what we need to do. Find something on that card that you can ask them about, because there's little nuggets in there if you just take the time to look and not see it as a piece of paper that cost them about 50 cents to make. And so think of it as the money too.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, lady. It was beautiful today.
Beautiful.
That was great. Thank you for that little nugget.
Very good little nugget. And if I may layer onto that, when you're creating your business cards, you want to include that something that'll be of interest to people.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Please have respect for people like me over the age of 40 or 50 now.
The font.
I don't always wear my glasses when I'm at networking events. And you hand me a business card and I can't read it. Oh, now I have to get my glasses. Like, put something on there that's big enough that these eyes would be able to see.
Yes.
Yeah, I find with the electronic scanners that the simpler the card is,
the better.
The better.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. And we are at the top of the hour. It has been a delicious, delicious conversation. Let's all closer, be more connected with people. Remember to go to terrylynspeaks.com/CTC. So be sure to grab the special bundle she put together just for her WPN family.
Yes.
Go ahead and grab it. Meet those people, connect with those people. Thank you, Terrilynn, for being with us today.
Thank you, Nancy. It's been a pleasure. You know, I love my WPN.
We love you right back. And for those who are still listening, you may have dialed in a few minutes after we got started. I made a special announcement this Friday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I am opening up a complimentary coaching quarter. So if you've ever wondered what's it like to get coaching with Nancy Matthews and the WPN and you want a taste of it, join us for this coaching session. You're going to get a laser coaching opportunity, which is such that there's some question rattling in your head that's if I only knew how to fill in the blank, my life would be so much better. My business would be so much better. If I could just figure this thing out, things would be so much better. So that's what laser coaching is. You're going to get that opportunity to get those answers and guidance from myself. And Terrilynn, if you don't mind, you've been coaching with us. What do you like about coaching? With
Oh my goodness. I love the personal, individual attention. I love that any question that you bring, you get a knowledgeable answer. You get something you can count on. You can get something that works. And it's not cumbersome. It's simple. It's useful.
Right.
You get coaching and they want to pile on. You get exactly what you need when you need it. Beautiful. I love coaching WPN.
Thank you. And that was totally unplanned. So thank you for sharing your heart. If you want to take advantage of the coaching that I'm doing this Friday, just put in the chat, Nancy, count me in, or put on Facebook, Nancy, count me in. And then I'll send you a link to a form I want you to fill out because I want you to come. What's your question? What is that thing that you really want to bust through? Because you know it's going to make a huge difference. That's why I'm doing this. So just put in the chat or on Facebook, Nancy, count me in, and I'll make sure that you get the link to join us on Friday. All right. And with that, we're going to wrap up. Get out there, my friends. Make it a wow day. And we'll see you next week with another wonderful Wow Wednesday. Have fun on your vacation, my friends.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Beautiful. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.